Alright, so, basically, this is going to be like what you're going to be seeing from me for the next few videos is a bunch of crossover comic reviews that I was like, you know, there are some funny crossover comics that I own. I'm going to do a myriad of them just for the hell of it. So, kicking things off is the Marvel Comics Maximum Press crossover, or as it's better known, Image. The crossover event called Gladiator Supreme. Two underrated powerhouse characters beating the living shit out of each other. I had to get this. Now, Gladiator Supreme is pretty much a story that pretty much these two beings that are probably even more powerful than Superman, and I don't mean to step on anybody's toes when I say this, but these, basically, when Robert Liefeld created Supreme, he basically made, oh, he's more powerful than Superman. Why did I give him an accent? Why did I give him an accent? And Gladiator was created by Chris Claremont, to be like the Marvel equivalent to Superman, but however, I kind of look at it as like that song, anything you can do, I can do better. Superman can see to a microscopic level, Gladiator can see to a subatomic level, and this guy's strong enough to push planets, and this guy's just like almost a one-man world killer. But it all depends. His power comes from his confidence. So the more confidence he gets, the stronger he is. But he starts losing confidence in himself, his powers wane. Anywho, this starts off with, the crossover begins in where the Gladiator is sent to a Shi'ar base that's monitoring a planet that is, it's basically a planet that the Shi'ar Empire has silently inducted into its group to keep it away from Skrull control. They're basically, they're a very primitive planet. They're a very oligarchy, religion-based planet that the Shi'ar Empire is kind of like, oh, you guys don't know it, but you're with us now. And they had this fortress. I mean, this base that was monitoring it. But however, the base comes under attack by an unknown entity that is said to rival Gladiator's power. Gladiator goes to check it out, and he finds nothing but wreckage in the base and finds a video recording. And they don't know what exactly it is, but what they do discover is this being called Supreme, and it's kind of funny too. They're trying to do assumptions of what could have attacked the base, and they come down with two. And it's funny. They make a reference to Superman. Here's what they say: we narrowed it down to two probabilities: the Terran myth of an orphan raised from the stars, raised by the Terrans of their own world. And then it's basically telling the story of Superman, and Gladiator's like, I'm familiar with that. And the other one is the being called Supreme, which is this. You see, the thing with Supreme is it's kind of difficult back in the 90s before Alan Moore got a hold of him and gave like the definitive Supreme. And Supreme is a character I've just been on because they changed so much. Here's an example. There was a point where he was meant to be a more powerful, more edgier Superman. That was Rob Liefeld's original intent. That was kind of like a lot of the intent with Image Comics back in the early days. Like, basically, Glory was a more edgier version of Wonder Woman. That was kind of what Image was trying to do, make edgier version of Marvel and DC characters. Just like, oh, look how edgy we are. And that's what Supreme was for the longest time. But then he kind of changed into this godlike angel of justice. Not really an angel, but he's became this god-worshipping Bible, like this. Think of it as, how do I put this? He's kind of like that. If Judge Claude Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame had superpowers, that's what you get. That's pretty much the Supreme we get in here. Just think, Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame got Superman's powers and just ramped it up by 1,000. This guy, Supreme, was powerful enough in his comics to kill his universe's version of Thor. That's right, he killed a god and then took Mjolnir and proceeded to kill all the other Norse gods of that universe, of the Image universe. So, basically, cutting back to this, Supreme is on this planet, and he goes there, he goes to this planet that the Shi'ar was monitoring, and more or less, he's just there to, this looks like a beautiful planet, but if they don't worship God, I'm going to wipe it out. I was like, really? We're gonna do this? So basically, Supreme's on the planet, and he's basically looking like this. It looks like Utopia, this utopian planet of these alien race, and he goes to their planet. He goes to their shrine, and it looks like this this idol that they worship looks exactly like him, and he just goes insane, like, "Oh my God, I am not. You make me a false idol." Meanwhile, Gladiator comes to the planet, you know, to take on Supreme head on, in order, you know, to keep him from losing his shit. Gladiator comes in, and when these two fight, wow, do they fight! These guys, throughout the rest of this comic, okay, the first 7 or 8 pages are pretty much background. The rest of it's just them beating the shit out of each other. That's pretty much the gist of the comic. These guys go all out. I mean, they tear apart the planet, and this is all packed into one comic. This is just a one-shot comic, and man, do they just go all out in this battle. Gladiator, I've seen Gladiator take on a lot of heavy hitters in the Marvel Universe, but when he fights Supreme, these guys tear apart a chunk of the planet, they take out a Shi'ar ship. Meanwhile, while this is all going on, a Shi'ar battle fleet is like, how do we salvage this? How do we get around this? And eventually, the story ends with Gladiator actually pretending he's dead, and Supreme leaves. That's it. He throws the fight because Gladiator tells the Shi'ar commanding officer at the time, if we kept fighting, we would have been fighting for eons. There would have been no clear victor. So I know, I kind of spoiled it, but this comic's been out for a while, so I figured why not. This was really good. I really enjoyed this. This is a cool one-shot. There is no real material story to this. It's just Gladiator and Supreme beating the almighty hell out of each other. And yeah, it's really cool. I mean, the artwork's done by Ed Benz, who most of you guys would know Ed Benz is doing best known for making female shapes, but he does really good artwork on, you know, doing muscle tone. And these guys are like these overly muscled characters, so it makes sense. The writing was done by Keith Giffen, who's still working at DC now. But this is just fun. If you're looking for just a fun beat-em-up comic of two powerhouses just beating the shit out of each other, I'd say check this out. Nothing more, nothing less than what you're going to get in this crossover. But anyway, stay tuned for the next one. I'm out.